An arrest has been made in the death of Shannon Reeder. We want to warn you the details of this case are disturbing. The King County Medical Examiner says she was killed with a hatchet or axe and was found in a suitcase hidden under a makeshift bed in a homeless encampment in Jose-Rizal-Park. Steven Nguyen was booked into jail today, charged with her murder. Prosecutors say the timeline shows it's possible he had been sleeping on top of Shannon's body for months.
Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling has more on how troopers zeroed in on the accused killer.
The Washington State Patrol says that Reeder had her own housing but would come down here to the park area to visit Nguyen. They say she was likely dead for a few months before she was found here in the suitcase.
We've made some little cards for Shanny.
Caitlin Andrews says family and friends gathered in Edmonds last weekend to celebrate Shannon Reeder's life.
It was a beautiful, perfect, sunny day at Edmonds Beach, so I think I felt her presence there with us.
She says her favorite place was by the ocean with toes in the sand.
Not focused on how we found her, but focused on how much we loved her.
The Washington State Patrol says November 2023 was one of the last times that investigators could confirm the 37-year-old was seen alive.
The entire situation is horrifying.
Court documents state after finding Reeder in a suitcase beneath a makeshift bed in the homeless encampment, WSP investigators found mail with the name of Steven Nguyen also inside. They picked him up October 3rd on a DOC warrant stemming from a different second-degree assault case.
And in that interview, it led to some evidence that tied him to this homicide.
He was charged with murder October 16th after investigators said he admitted Reeder had died in his tent.
It was a grisly scene.
Law enforcement said in court documents that Nguyen murdered the victim with an axe or other sharp object and stashed her body inside a suitcase for weeks, then abandoned the victim's remains to be, quote, bulldozed by a cleaning crew.
We're not so much concentrated on those indignities as we are the life that was lost.
After initially denying he knew anything about a body stuffed in a suitcase under his bed, investigators say he told them he met Reeder in Chinatown of the International District. They used to smoke drugs together and have sex occasionally. He then claimed she overdosed on fentanyl and died when the two were smoking together. When investigators confronted him about the axe wounds, they say he claimed she had slipped and fallen on rocks, then placed her body in a sleeping bag and wrapped it in plastic before putting her into the suitcase. And then he said he stashed the suitcase inside the wooden podium structure under his bed.
The way that it has been described, that we have heard it described, is completely terrifying. And if someone's capable of doing that, living next to it, being next to it every single day, they're going to be doing that again, or have done it before.
Nguyen was also convicted in 2022 of assault 2, intent to commit a felony. In that case, the victim said he put a gun to her head and pulled the trigger when the victim refused to have sex, but the gun didn't go off.
Very grateful that he's not in the streets tonight. I will sleep better knowing that.
Prosecutors say that Nguyen had a number of prior felony convictions starting in the late 90s and extending through 2006 in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. They included unlawful imprisonment, battery, and fraud. Reporting in Seattle, Jennifer Dowling, Fox 13 News.